What's going on, y'all? You already know it's Cody Camps from Cancer Fitness. We back at it again, you feel me? So today we're gonna be talking about doing a barbell row. I feel like when I see people do this, not many people do it correctly, and I just want to make sure that you understand how to do it correctly. So when you are actually implementing it, you're gonna get the best bang for your buck. The barbell row is there's different variations of it. There's a Pendlay row, there's a barbell row, but this is specifically talking about the barbell row and how to use it, how to maximize it, and how to make sure that you can implement it in your own workout. When doing a barbell row, there's several ways to do it, right? So most of the time, you're gonna see people go like this and then do this. But this isn't a long enough range of motion for the whole exercise, right? There's gonna be very strenuous on the lower back because there's a slight rounding in the back, and even if you keep your hips up, it's still not enough range of motion. This wouldn't be enough range of motion. So what you would have to do, you have to hinge more and get more horizontal to the ground. And that way you can get your elbows behind you and your shoulders behind you. This way you can more effectively hit your upper back versus just like doing a mini shrug here, right? As you can see, you want to make sure you're not tall. You're going to be more horizontal to the ground so you get your elbows and shoulders behind you. Now, obviously, there is a place for every exercise, right? But if the main goal is to build your upper back, right? So everything in this area up here, while minimizing your shoulder shrugging, right? If you want to kind of stay out of fight and flight mode, our traps are a little involved in too much of everything, right? Especially our upper traps. So if your main goal is to work the upper back and to have the ability to pull the shoulders back, you need to make sure that you're giving yourself as much range of motion as possible. So this is not enough range of motion. We need to get further than that. Hips stay up, back, slow, back, slow, back, slow. Now, of course, when it comes to programming, you need to consider the fact that, let's just say you did the day before on your leg day, you did a heavy set of deadlifts and your lower back is kind of shot, right? This motion in general and being able to be as horizontal as possible might be a little bit uncomfortable for your hamstrings and your lower back, right? So, of course, programming is going to be the most important thing. You don't want to program too much things that are going to fry out your lower back. You want to make sure that you spread them out as much as possible. So, if you're going to be doing this on your back day, you kind of want to save some time on your deadlift for a different day or maybe 2 days apart, right? Now, if you wanted to opt that out for a different exercise, let's say that you didn't want to do that, then do a seated cable row and worry about that. But if your main goal is to get heavy on the barbell row, you want to make sure that you're more horizontal to the ground. That way you have the most range of motion as possible. Versus if you're here, the bar is going to stop you by hitting your belly button. It's not going to be able to come up far enough. Versus if you're here, you can bring the bar up higher, which is going to give you more range of motion, which in turn is going to give you more gains. But now, of course, for lack of better tools, I can't necessarily show you exactly how to do a Pendlay row here, but there's obviously different variations of a row. And a Pendlay row meaning that we are only worried about the contraction at the top and not so much about the stretch at the bottom, right? So it would be basically, in English, you would just be worrying about how to get it up as fast as possible and then drop the weight but typically you would be using 45 bumper plates or something like that. So it would actually have a dead stop on the ground and then restart it, right? But that's not what we're doing today. That's mainly going to be for strength, power. But if we're looking to maximize hypertrophy, we're looking to maximize making muscle gains, I would say opt for the barbell row variation. So as I was saying before, you just want to make sure that the key part of the movement, right, is to make sure you get your elbows and your shoulders behind the body and have it with as much full range of motion as possible. If you're not getting a full range, especially at the bottom, that's where you get the weighted stretch and the lengthened partials, right? That's what everybody's talking about nowadays. But if you're really trying to maximize that and really trying to get the best out of that, you need to make sure that you have range of motion on both ends, right? Now, weighted partials is definitely going to benefit you, but you need to make sure you have a full range. You have the better your stretch, the better the squeeze is going to be, the better the contraction is going to be. So you just have to make sure that you're getting the best of both, and that way you have a fuller muscle and a longer muscle so that it'll look better with clothes on and obviously clothes off. So that is the video, y'all. I hope you guys learned some. I hope you guys can implement this in your own workouts. Implement using a barbell row instead of just using dumbbells or whatever the case may be. Just make sure that you're programming it correctly, because if you're not programming it correctly, then it's not going to be beneficial for you. You want to make sure that you're using it on the days that your back is not fried from a deadlift day or RDLs or something like that. You just want to make sure that you separate the days enough so that there's enough time for your lower back to recover. So with that being said, that is the video, y'all. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Make sure if you have any questions or anything like that, put that in the comment section below. Make sure to follow my Instagram, and I'll be seeing y'all in the next video. Peace.